The role of a product manager can vary a lot based on the company and the product and what the team needs. Company size can have a big impact on the day-to-day role of a PM. At smaller companies, it's likely that you'll have a broader focus and more end-to-end responsibility. For example, at an e-commerce startup, you might own the entire app, including search and ranking, viewing a product's page, and the checkout experience. And since the company is smaller and has fewer people, you'll have less support in place. This just means that you need to wear more hats. For example, at that e-commerce startup, you might be more involved with user acquisition, promotions, and analyzing the results. There also might not be as many processes defined. This means that you can sometimes move faster, although it can be a little bit chaotic. In these types of environments, it's helpful when PMs can create some process and stability for the team. At larger companies, you will likely be more focused. And because of scale, you can go very, very deep in a specific area. At a large e-commerce company, for example, you might focus just on ranking. There would be a separate PM focused on search layout, another one focused on viewing product pages, and probably a couple more on the checkout experience itself. You're also more likely to have larger supporting teams to help you out, like research, marketing, and finance. This means that you need to help coordinate work across all those teams. And lastly, there's more process. This exists in order to make sure that things being worked on across the company connect, and that one project won't have a negative impact on another team, like a change in the ranking algorithm that reduces the number of users that go to checkout. In large companies, it's super important to connect with other PMs to understand what's on their roadmaps and any shared problems that you may be able to solve together, or dependencies that you have on other teams. Product philosophy can also impact the role of a PM. In organizations that are product-driven, the focus is on solving problems for users. Here, product managers mainly focus on understanding, identifying, and writing requirements to hand off to engineering. This largely happens through research and talking to users. Then, once engineering has the requirements, they will go and they will build it. Some pros here with this philosophy is that it's a very customer-centric approach. This means that the product is more likely to be something that consumers want. But there are some challenges as well. Sometimes, engineering can feel a little bit disconnected from the user and lack empathy. This can create challenges because sometimes engineers might not see the full picture and the requirements might feel arbitrary. An example here might be Amazon Prime. 2-day shipping is a huge convenience that provides a ton of value to users and makes it even easier to continue to buy products on Amazon. In organizations that are engineering-driven, the focus is on solving technical problems. Engineers will build things and then hand them off to product. And here, in these types of organizations, the PM's role is really more about figuring out how to package the technology and bring it to market. There are some pros with this approach as well. It really promotes technical innovation. And another thing is that sometimes users don't always know what they want, or they have trouble thinking outside of the box. But again, as always, there are some cons associated, where in these types of organizations, it's more possible that the product won't ultimately resonate with the customer. An example of a product like this would be Google Glass. The technology was pretty incredible, but at the end of the day, it wasn't something that people really wanted or needed. There is another model though, a hybrid partnership, and this is really the best of both worlds. PMs end up writing the requirements, but engineering is included in the process of identifying requirements. One example of this would be including engineering in market and user research. Then, engineering goes and builds it, but product managers are also included in engineering design conversations. This gives product managers more visibility into how the product is being built and some of the decisions and trade-offs around specific implementations.